everyone, welcome back to the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge and happy Thursday everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. It's amazing to see you here sticking through these 2 weeks of Photoshop challenges. I just want to say a quick hello to everyone. Hi Sean, Susan, Damien, Ralph, Colleen, Sam, Valda here, Jose, Valentin. Thank you so much for joining me. Sonam, hi. I was just chatting with him on Discord a second ago and he told me that he's working hard on his full-time job and also following the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge every day. Well done. Well done and good on you, Sonam. Ainor, nice to see you. Happy birthday? Whose birthday is that? I want to know. I want to wish a happy birthday to whoever has the birthday today. And thank you for joining on your birthday. I want to know now. I'm very curious. Please let me know. I just read happy birthday on the chat. I really want to know whose birthday is today. So we have Shinya from Tokyo. I hope that I pronounced your name correctly. Colby, nice to see you here. Today we have challenge number 8. That means that we have only one more challenge out of our 2 weeks to go, but fear not. There are more challenges coming starting from next Monday. I believe Jesus Ramirez is going to be with you for 2 more amazing weeks of challenges right here on behance.net/live. And let me guide you through how to join the challenges because today might be your first day. And if you want to join us today, you can do so even if you have not taken the previous challenges. As I say every time, today and every day here is a safe space, is a very good place to start if you're a beginner, to build your portfolio, your first portfolio of pieces, and also to get your hands started around building some skills into Photoshop and learning new techniques. Oh, Nor says happy birthday instead of happy Thursday. That's really funny. Well, happy Thursday, and that's an occasion to wish happy birthday because I'm sure there are so many people that are celebrating their birthday today. So we wish them happy birthday and happy Thursday today. So as I was saying, this is an amazing place where to get started because if you're a beginner, you can start to learn new skills in Photoshop and definitely practice new techniques. While if you're a professional, this is a great place to take your portfolio pieces and enhance it and really take that time to work on your personal project. That are always a great start for everyone to develop a new theme and develop new skills as well. But let me guide you through our amazing landing page that will have all this information for you. And the page is behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. You'll be able to see it also on my screen. All you have to do in order to join the challenge is click here on this big blue button that it will say take the challenge in case you have not took the challenge. Mine says chat with the community because I've already took the challenge. Of course, we started on March 2nd and we're going to end tomorrow, this Friday here. And also we are going to we're going to continue with the challenge after we finish today into our Discord. You can jump on Discord by clicking here on community chat. And that's what happened. You will be transported in this amazing world of creatives. You're going to find creative students, creative professionals, and of course, the amazing mentors that are here always to support you with your request and give you feedback. Also, the streamers after me will be reviewing these challenges, so make sure that you publish your work on Discord. You do so just simply by clicking on this plus button that you'll see at the bottom of the chat, or by clicking and dragging your work directly into the chat. Now, as you can see, we have different channels on the side. The one that you want to publish your work on is the current challenge channel. And you'll be able to share with everyone your work. Again, as I said, this is a free learning, safe space where you can get advice and also look at other people's work in order to learn something and to get inspired. I learned so much looking at your work. They just make me reflect about my own work. So feel free to ask your question into other the other channels. For example, we have Ask Me Anything or just simply introduction. You can just pop in and say hello and connect with this amazing global community of creatives. But let's go back into our amazing landing page because there is more information. You guessed, as I say, this is a fantabulous page where you find more and more information. So as you probably experienced in the past day, every single day we have an amazing challenge that gets revealed. Today, just about an hour ago, we revealed today's challenge, which is shape. We are going to create an email campaign using shapes and gradients and some amazing tool. Let's see what happened here in the chat. We have everyone saying hello. No Chinese here. I don't know if there is anyone who's Chinese, but I know that the chat is in English. So hopefully if there is everyone who speaks Chinese can maybe say hello, but the rest of the chat is in English. And let's see, everyone is say hello. And everyone is obsessing with letter changing, saying Jennifer, yes, we are still doing so many amazing challenges. Alberto, make sure that you join the 36 days of type. If you don't know what is the 36 days of type, make sure that you tune in for challenge number 4. I believe we were looking at some type, but I think it's time to jump into Photoshop. Again, before we do that, I want to remind you to download your starter file here. Today is a special surprise full of gifts for you. So make sure that you click on get started. And if you, for whatever reason, have to leave this live, you can always come back and watch the video. And if you want to stay tuned for next week Photoshop Daily Creative Challenges, starting with Jesus Ramirez on Monday, all you have to do is to subscribe in order to keep you informed. And if one challenge is not enough, you have plenty of challenges to explore from past streamers. You can go ahead and scroll down and you have the full 2 weeks. All the files are there, all the video are there, just for you to use. And if this is your very first time using Photoshop, or maybe you're not sure, you're just getting informed, this is a way where you can download the app for a free trial from our landing page. Simply by scrolling down, you will have Get a Adobe Photoshop banner and just simply click on Download Photoshop. But hopefully by now you have downloaded your file. Again, today is challenge number 8. We're working on shapes. Make sure you download your file. Is a PSD file. And let's jump into Photoshop. Now, as you probably see, if you've opened the file, we have different folder with hidden amazing content. Let me see if there is any question with the starter file before we get started. Alberto, you're working on letter K. Super cool. I look forward to see it into Discord. And let's see, I've seen something about the starter file. Let's see if we can, you open today's starter file and your Adobe setup didn't have the font. It's absolutely fine. It doesn't really matter for the actual challenge. I just provided some text for you to use so we could move forward together with the challenge. You can use any font you like and any font that you feel more appropriate. In fact, I've also provided different color palette. The first group in the folders here is in fact our beautiful color palette because we're going to work into monochrome. So I thought maybe not everyone is in flamingo pink as much as I am. So I thought to give you different option in order to switch depending on what is your favorite color palette or which one fits better with your theme. Now, very quickly, I'm going to keep working just so you have an idea of the theme that we're using. During challenge number 2, we introduced our mood board. I'm creating my ethereal paradise throughout this challenge, and we're creating pretty much a marketing campaign. We're going to see at the end of this challenge into a Behance, we're creating different pieces of our marketing campaign to promote our ethereal paradise, to promote this amazing location that doesn't exist, but is the location of your dreams. And I went with the ethereal paradise with pyramids and palm trees. So let's move forward. Of course, I choose the flamingo palette because it marries well with my ethereal paradise of cotton candy. And then the second will be the text. Again, as we said in the chat, if the text is a different one or for whatever reason you do not have the text that I've used within your app, there are two different ways. You can always go into font.adobe.com. I'm just gonna show you here since we are having this issue, fonts.adobe.com, and you can search for the font and then simply enable it, and then we'll allow it to have it in your app. Or you can do so by going into your text and properties and do that from our properties panel. So you can filter and search for more font right here. Browse Adobe fonts. But again, this is not relevant for today's challenge. It's just there to give you some understanding of the way of the mailer works. The last folder are some stars. Feel free to dig in and use them for your own project, but also I will invite you to explore the effects in your own time so you can see how did I create these stars. But let's get started. The very first thing that we want to do with our shape is to create some negative space here around our text and actually behind our text. If you never heard of negative space, this is some space that usually surrounds images in order to enhance certain part of our design. We can find negative space behind logos, or in this case, behind the text, because we really want to enhance the readability and the legibility of this text. So I'm going to introduce you to this amazing tool, which is our curvature pen tool. If you have not used the curvature pen tool yet, you can find it nested under the pen tool right here. And I'm gonna just give you a little try of this fella, which is a very amazing tool. It works like the normal pen tool. In fact, all you have to do is simply click to create an anchor point, but then looks what happened. As soon as you click and create more anchor points, you actually create a curved shape without even using handle or messing around. Also, some amazing feature of this tool is that you can select one of the anchor points and move it around. And you can do that also with many of them just by clicking shift and moving them around. And then also you can hover into our shape to add a new point. And you can also click on one of the anchor point and press delete without breaking the shape. So we're eliminating an anchor point, but we keep the shape united. Another thing that we can do is to double click on a point in order to create a corner, an angle. But I'm going to delete this shape for now. I'm going to delete the entire layer because I want to show you another way in which you can use the curvature pen tool. I'm going to start by selecting my rectangle here, and I'm going to make sure that we are using a shape and our fill is set to white because we really want that text to be legible. And I'm going to go ahead and create a little rectangle here on top of my text. I'm going to double click on my hand tool in order to fit the entire canvas into my screen. And I'm going to bring this, rectangle under my folder. How do you get the circle to fill? So all the controls for our shape are here on this menu bar at the very top. Let me zoom in. If you click on any shape here, we can see that we have here the fill and the stroke, and you can change here the fill. You can also simply select the shape and then fill using our shortcut, option delete for the foreground color of our swatches, and command delete for your background color. But let's move on. I'm going to bring the text on top of our rectangle because I want to see how we can make this shape work. And I'm going to jump back into our curvature pen tool. Now I'm gonna make sure that our shape is selected, and you see that because we're gonna have a blue outline into our shape. And I'm gonna create some points, just few for now. Probably I'm just gonna start with 3. And then I'm gonna start to move them around. Now make sure that you keep your curvature pen tool selected, because this can happen only if you have the curvature pen tool selected. Isn't that amazing? The reason why I mentioned and suggested to have less point is because the less point you have, the smoother your curve will be. And that's the reason why I start from a rectangle, just because then allows me a little bit more flexibility and control. So I'm quite happy with the curves. You can go ahead and fix it as much as you want. If you do feel the need to add more point, remember with a curvature pen tool, all you have to do is to hover into your path, and then you'll be able to add the point. And I'm quite happy with this shape. Probably I'll go even a little bit deeper here because we don't have much text, and probably gonna bring this a little bit further. I can spend probably an half an hour just to fix it and tune it in, so feel free to do that in your own time. I'm happy with this and I have a lot of things to show you, so we need to really move forward here. I'm gonna move back into my rectangle tool and press Command J to duplicate it, and then I'm gonna press Command T to bring it a little bit more to the right. So I'm just literally pressing my arrows here to show it. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click into my eyedropper tool, or simply press I in order to trigger my eyedropper tool and select one of the medium color from our background gradient, and then press Option and Delete in order to fill the layer. Now I want to bring this layer a little bit below, and perhaps I'm going to move it a little bit more to the right. All I'm trying to do is to create a transition here. I'm going to press A, which is a direct select tool, making sure that I'm on the correct layer in order to select the point that I want to hide. And I'm going to bring this a little bit in just to create a nicer transition. So all I'm doing is moving from one rectangle to the other with my direct select tool open, and I'm just creating a little smooth transition here so we don't have a harsh white line. I've introduced a little bit of a color here, and of course you'll have time to fine tune it. You can have a little bit of this one showing on the top, or if you're not happy with it, all you have to do is go back, making sure that you press A to trigger your direct selection tool, which is our little white arrow. Once we're happy with this, I'm gonna start to build my pyramids because all my ethereal paradise was filled with pyramids. We do so by jumping into our polygon tool. And now you can select the side here from the top. I'm gonna zoom in just to make sure that you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, all you have to do is to click into the canvas and the Create Polygon window will come up. I'm gonna select 3 sides because it's a pyramid, and I'm gonna press Command T in order to transform it. Hold Shift to make sure that we have a transformation that is actually corrected. And I'm gonna downsize my triangle by moving this little bounding box here, just like so. If you wanna make your triangle a little bit smaller from the base, all we have to do is to hold Shift in order to free transform. And then I'm gonna go ahead and keep transforming using my binding box corners. Once you're happy with it, click return. I'm going a little bit fast because I want to really finish to show you this challenge. And I'm going to go and create a gradient. Now you can do so by going here, back into our fill, making sure that our palette is selected so we can use our lovely colors. And once we press on the fill, there is an option here to select a gradient. And I'm going to double click on the darker color of the gradient, and I'm going to select the lighter color of my palette in order to have a monochrome beautiful gradient that marries with our compositions. Once we're happy with it, I'm going to create a new layer and jump again into my pen tool in order to create, in this case, a straight line. In fact, I'm going to create another triangle, as you can see on top of mine, to create almost a shadow to give the feeling of the pyramid here. And once you're happy with it, again, once you work with more time, make sure that you zoom in. With pressing A, you have your direct selection tool. You can move these points around. I'm going to go back into my eyedropper, select the lighter colors, and press Option Delete in order to fill our pyramid here. Now there are more details that you can do to create more gradient, and you can, for example, duplicate your polygon here, or simply press on the Move tool here, or click V, and by holding Option you'll be able to duplicate the pyramid here and create slight gradient in order just to give it a little bit more movement. Now I want to jump into my final, because the other things that you can add with your shape are, for example, cloud. I'm going to actually show you how to create a cloud right here. Very easy. Go back into our rectangle tool and experiment with the rounded rectangle tool. And by clicking and dragging, here we have a lovely little cloud. It's filled with a gradient. If you want to go back and fill it with a normal color, we can do so by going back into our fill and select one of the color from our palette. Now you want to make sure that you keep this lovely cloud under our negative space. I will probably give it a little bit less opacity so it marries better. And there are so many other amazing things that you can do with this composition, with this geometric or shape. But if we hide our palette here, you can already see that our mailer is starting to take shape. I want to show you how one of my final version was. I'm going to select and group all these amazing layers that we created together so we can hide them. And I can show you another version here, which I'm gonna bring on top of my background. So I've just created more clouds, and I've created some drop shadow, which probably we can do real quick here from this landscape that is already open. All I have to do once I have grouped my pyramids, I went into the FX, and here into drop shadow, I've created a little drop shadow, and I've actually picked the color of the drop shadow from the gradient. Now remember, the amazing thing of the drop shadow is that you can move it around directly from your canvas and then just press OK in order to commit. I'm going to share my final into Discord. Now we have 2 minutes, and I want to share this with you on our Behance, because I want to show you, if you took part, or if you're going to take part of the entire 2-week challenge, what we are creating day by day. So I'm going to save my file by exporting as, and I want to save it as a JPEG, making sure that is a digestible size. That's absolutely perfect. As you will see, I kept it quite small because this is challenge number 8. I'm so sorry, I must have wrote it wrong. This is challenge number 8, and this is our final file. Oops. And I'm gonna put it into my desktop. I still have a couple minutes to bring it into Behance. If we jump back into Behance and into our profile, as you can see here, I've collected all the previous challenges. And if we go into our page, you will see, if you already created a project, you can go into edit. If you've not done so, don't worry. You can always create a project by clicking on this big blue button up here. But I want to edit my project and add this new challenge. All I have to do is to scroll down, and I'm actually gonna go to the very, very bottom and double click on my last title in order to make it faster. And I'm gonna go here and press on the T to select test. I'm gonna copy my text and make it challenge number 8. Double click on the text and center it if that's where you want it. If not, just leave it on the side. And then I'm gonna click on this big arrow in order to upload my final. And this is my final number 8. Now, as you can see, if you follow through with these challenges and you pick a theme, in this case was this Ethereal Paradise Escape, we created a full campaign on Instagram using photography, using a mock-up on a magazine, creating a composition and creating an advert, and so on. From our very first challenge, also create an amazing landscape for our 36 days of type. So overall, we ended up creating a full marketing campaign. Now, this was a campaign for a land that doesn't exist, but perhaps is your favorite space and your favorite place. But what I strongly suggest to do is to reiterate and redo this challenge, maybe using your own artwork to create a marketing campaign for your own artwork. Tomorrow, we're gonna tune in with our last challenge, challenge number 9, which is gonna be a video timeline. So we done print, we done emails, we done Instagram. Last thing that we need to do is a lovely moving image to keep finishing our marketing campaign. I'll see you tomorrow for our last challenge at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and I leave you with an amazing, amazing lineup of streamers. We have Jason, we have Jesse, Paul, Terry White, with all InDesign, Lightroom, After Effects, Photoshop. So make sure that you stay tuned in for this amazing stream today. Well, it's lovely to see you here, guys. I'll see you now into Discord, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me.